Hey crypto friends, for those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Garrett and I am a crypto day trader who absolutely loves trading with moving averages. And my overall goal here with this channel is to simply help other traders in the most simplistic ways as possible. So in today's educational video, I'm going to be sharing one of the biggest mistakes that you can possibly make as a crypto day trader and how to avoid making this mistake. All right. Now, for those of you who love trading crypto and would like to try out the same crypto exchange that I use on a daily basis, feel free to go ahead and try out the Blowfin exchange here with the link in the video description down below this video. I personally love this exchange because they allow just about anybody from anywhere to be able to sign up and trade crypto futures. So if you are from the United States like I am and you want to trade crypto futures, you can do it right here on the Blowfin exchange. All right, so we are just going to go ahead and dive right into this video so we do not waste any time. So as far as the biggest mistake that you should not be making, that a lot of people seem to make, is making your buy and sell decisions solely on indicators, okay? Now, what do I mean by this? I see a lot of people on a regular basis, literally all the time. I regularly see people constantly trading with the RSI indicator, the Bollinger Bands indicator, or even the the MACD indicator. There's a lot of people out there who trade with these indicators and they make their buy and sell decisions solely on these indicators, all right? Now, this does not mean that you shouldn't use these indicators. It just means that you shouldn't use them solely to make your buy and sell decisions, meaning you shouldn't be looking at these indicators and thinking to yourself, oh, gee, well, this looks extremely oversold or this looks extremely overbought because of this indicator, so therefore I'm going to go long or I'm going to go short, okay? Do not make these decisions based only on these indicators, okay? And a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and show you some examples here. So let me go ahead. We're going to pick a random coin. I don't know. We'll do Algo. We'll do Algorand. All right. So here we are on the Algorand chart. Let me go ahead and get rid of my moving average here, and we will start with the RSI indicator. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you some examples of kind of what I'm talking about here, okay? So let me go ahead and turn on the RSI here. Let me go ahead and make these a little brighter so it's easier for you guys to see. We'll make the RSI line, we'll go ahead and make the RSI line white just so it's easy to see, and we will go ahead and make the moving average in the RSI line, we'll make it lime green so it's easy to see as well, all right? And we'll go ahead and change the background also just to make it a little bit brighter so it's, again, easier to see. So we'll go ahead and turn that to 25, and there we go, all right? So let's go ahead and check this out, okay? So as you guys can clearly see here, all right, the way that a lot of people use the RSI, or a lot of beginners, or a lot of people who are getting into day trading for the first time, a lot of people think that, you know, okay, well then when the RSI is above the top line here, which is the 70 line, a lot of people think that when it gets above that line that they should automatically go ahead and place, go short in the opposite direction, thinking that the price is going to be dropping right away as soon as it hits this top area here, all right? And as you guys can clearly see just by looking at this right here on this chart right here, you can clearly see that once we hit it for the first time, it literally just kept going and going and going. I mean, it literally just kept going for, let's see here, from November 9th all the way through December 8th. So pretty much an entire month it stayed above the overbought levels, okay? So this is one perfect example of what I'm talking about as far as do not make your decisions solely based on the indicators, because as you guys can clearly see, even for this section right here, all right, the price ended up going up right here, and then it ended up coming down. It spent 2 entire days coming down, but it did not go down any further from there, and as you guys can clearly see, it kind of found support right here at this top end. That right there should tell you, and this is what I'm talking about as far as using price action to kind of help you make your decisions as well, because if you are making your decisions solely based on what these indicators are showing you, you're going to end up losing money, because realistically, you are hoping for what a lot of people end up hoping for here is once once price action ends up getting above this, above the 70 period line, or above the 70 line here on the RSI, they're thinking, okay, well, this asset is insanely overbought, therefore I need to put in a short order because it's probably going to end up start dropping. And yes, it did end up dropping, but it didn't really drop that much, as you guys can clearly see. All right, but most people usually end up hoping that it's going to end up dropping back down to the oversold level again, so they place a short order up here and they automatically think it's going to end up dropping down to these areas right down in here. And this is the wrong type of thinking you want to be thinking about, okay? And the reason why is because realistically, when we have strong trends like this, you want to think of it in a different manner. You want to think of it as the trend is your friend, okay? The trend will always be your friend. When we are insanely overbought like this, it typically means, it does not mean that it's due for an immediate reversal. It technically means instead that the trend is insanely strong, and realistically, you should be going long because the trend is your friend and you want to be profiting from whatever is left of the overall trend. As you guys can clearly see, that is what happened here for an entire month long. All right, so let's go ahead and because obviously nobody is day trading, nobody's going to be day trading with the daily chart. So let's go ahead and turn on the 4-hour, and we will show you some other examples on the 4-hour chart here. So let me go ahead and find one of those areas here. All right, as you guys can clearly see, let's see here, see if we can go back to that same area. So here's another thing. All right, here is another perfect example of what I'm talking about here, all right? So as you guys can clearly see here, this is kind of one of those areas where, as you guys can clearly tell, price ended up going really far above the overbought level. Okay, so technically right here, people would automatically think, or beginners would automatically think, okay, it's overbought, so that means it's going to be reversing soon and it's going to be going down to the downside. All right, that's clearly not what happened here. In fact, it ended up staying above the oversold or the overbought area for a very, very long time, as you guys can clearly see here. And it continued, the price ended up continuing to go higher and higher and higher. All right, this is kind of one of those examples I'm talking about. Just because an asset is overbought, it does not mean that it is going to immediately start coming down for a reversal. And this is one of the biggest mistakes that I see a lot of especially beginner traders make when they are trying to use the RSI. Okay, so this is why you cannot make your buy and sell decisions solely based on these indicators. And the reason why is because realistically, they do not do what you want them to do all the time. All right, as you guys can clearly and visually see right in here. All right, so that does it for the RSI. So let's go ahead and use a different indicator just to show you a different example here. So instead of the RSI, we will turn on the MACD indicator. All right, so with the moving average convergence divergence indicator, you can clearly see that the way that a lot of people use this indicator is they use the histogram, which is these colored bars here, the green bars and the red bars, and they kind of base their decisions based off of what these bars are doing. So usually 9 times out of 10, as you guys can clearly see right here, we had one good section where it was, we had good momentum building as the price was going up, as you guys can clearly see right here, and then as momentum started weakening, the colored bars started to decline. And that is a normal, healthy, area where, the MACD is performing how you would expect it to perform. All right. But right here is a little bit of a different story. All right. As you guys can clearly see, 9 times out of 10, when I talk to people, or especially beginners who try to use the MACD indicator, they typically like to use it in a manner where once they think and once they see that the momentum for the downside is weakening, which is right around in this area, they automatically think that it's going to turn green next. And they end up entering a long position kind of right in this area. As you guys can clearly see, that's where it would have been, right in here. they usually think that it's going to turn green right in this area. And as you guys can clearly see in this situation, if you were to have been making your decision solely based on what the indicators are showing here, you would have ended up losing money, because as you guys can clearly see, instead of the price ending up going higher from here and moving higher and turning green, it actually ended up bearish momentum ended up taking over instead and dropping even further, as you guys can clearly see right in there. So again, this is just another perfect example of what I am talking about when I'm talking, or when I say that you should not be using indicators solely to make your buy and sell decisions. Now, again, that's not to say that using indicators is a bad way of incorporating them into your overall strategy, because realistically, there are a lot of people who make a lot of money trading the markets with these indicators, all right? They're just not making their buy and sell decisions based off of what the indicators are showing, okay? Realistically, what they are doing instead is you want to be forming your biases on whatever indicators you are using, plus, all right, plus price action itself, all right, which is actually the key here, all right? And the simple reason why is because price action is real-time data, and indicators only show you data based on previous prices, all right? So what do you think is going to be more accurate here? Price action is going to be the most accurate because it is showing you data in real time, whereas indicators like the MACD and the RSI and the Bollinger Bands, they are showing you data based on previous price points, all right? So that is kind of why you want to be incorporating overall price action. Now, what am I talking about when I'm talking about price action? When I'm talking about price action here, guys, I am talking about, the examples of price action include stuff like utilizing support and resistance levels, candlestick patterns, various trend lines and stuff like that, breakouts, rejections, and even consolidation zones, stuff like that. Basically anything that revolves around how the overall price is actually moving here, okay? Now, I have all kinds of videos on price action stuff, including support and resistance levels, candlestick patterns, trend lines, breakout trading, rejection trading, all that kind of good stuff. So if you are interested in those types of videos, you can come to my channel here in my playlist section and come to technical analysis. And I've got all kinds of good, solid videos in that have to do with price action itself. So if you're looking to trade and you are kind of starting to realize that you can't be trading based off of indicators alone, I've got all kinds of videos here on price action itself that you can help to incorporate into your overall strategy to help you with using those indicators to help you make better informed decisions on when you should be buying and selling and all that good stuff, all right? So overall here, guys, before I go ahead and wrap up this video, if any of you are looking for a safe space to ask questions or talk about trading or anything like that, feel free to go ahead and reach out to me on my X profile here, Garrett_N_stuff. Reach out to me on X and I'll go ahead and I'll send you an invite to my free community Discord server, which is right in here. I'll send you an invite to my free community Discord server. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video and you got some decent value out of it, please make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit the like button below the video, and leave me a comment below on your personal thoughts of what you thought of this video. And with that said, big thanks to all of you guys who stuck around and watched this video throughout the whole thing. I try to do the best I can to help people. But overall here, I hope to see all of you guys in my future videos.